So without further ado, let's get right into it because we're running late. Alright, so continuing Red Riding Hood's route. And you've got game audio this time, right? That would be pretty funny if I played without the game audio again. Alright. So let me just... Well, looks like there should be game audio. I've got this tiny little controller today. Is it gonna work? Ah, haha, it works. This is so silly. It's the silliest little controller. It's a 8-bit Do 02. I don't know if anyone has seen these, but they're like a little pill shaped controller and they are so teeny tiny, but I think they're so adorable. And my cousin very sweetly got me one for my birthday, and actually just came in the mail. My birthday was in December, but that's how bad the post is right now because of COVID, so I just got it today, and so I'm playing with it. It's so fun. Alright, sorry, so there's no music in the game right now, and I'm going to continue reading the narration, so my character, and the dialogue from my character speaking, and then I'll let you all hear the voices of the other characters. So we've had one night with Red Riding Hood standing watch to see whether or not the big bad wolf is gonna harass the main character, I guess, because he's stalking her. So I sat up and stretched as the morning sun streamed in through my window. I looked in the direction of the light and realized that Red was gone. Red? I got out of bed and opened the door to find him standing directly in front of me in the hallway. Whoa! I jumped back reflexively. Yeah, pie for scale. Okay, I'll have to do that. Sure, you just see it in my hand, you can see how tiny it is. Oh, I don't know if Dr. Teflon's still in the chat, but thank you for the follow. I think you might have followed right after I had to stop the stream because of the technical difficulties, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good morning, Red. You startled me. I clutched my chest. Oh, she's gonna have a heart attack. Jeez. Oh, by the way, so, oh, good work. I was Googling for images of Red Riding Hood. Reminder that sometimes when you Google for characters, you see spoilers in the images, because I definitely saw a spoiler, and it was like no text or anything, but I knew right away because I saw the thing. It was like, oh, so word to anyone watching, if you don't want to get spoiled by anything, don't Google. That's all I'll say. I tied my hair back into a quick ponytail so I could wash my face. Then I felt his gaze on me and turned to look. What? Yeah. He awkwardly averted his eyes. Maybe you might be right. I'm not gonna say yes or no though. Maybe it's really obvious, but yeah, you know, just confirmed what we may have already thought. What are my plans? I'm going to school, apparently. Humming to myself, I opened the fridge and took stock of the ingredients I had on hand. For breakfast, we can have eggs and toast, plus leftovers from last night. Then I just need to put together 3 dishes for the packed lunches, and we should be good to go. I quickly launched into meal prep. Love a meal prep. Whoa, rude. This reminds me of a story from work today. So, I had half of a Subway sandwich. I got a foot-long Subway sandwich, and they call them footlongs here, even though we use a metric system in Australia. And I couldn't finish all of it last night, so I took half my foot-long, so 6-inch Subway sandwich to work, But I thought, oh, you know, 6 inches, I find if I'm still a bit hungry at lunchtime, I'm always very hungry at lunchtime, half a sub wouldn't be enough because normally I do eat a full sub. So I brought some other leftovers with me, and one of my coworkers was like, "Are you having a second lunch?" So I totally called me out, and I was like, "Excuse me, I'm hungry. Why are you calling me out for my lunch?" So Red's doing the same thing here. He called out to me as I was plating the finished food. His gaze was fixed on the 4 box lunches sitting on the counter. Oh, the lunches? No. There's no way I could eat all that. Yeah, rude, right? I'll eat what I want. But it wasn't 2 whole lunches. It was a lunch and a half, maybe. Yup, does that make you curious? Wanna know who? I love her, she's so funny. Oh. No, I do not want to become famous. Get out of here. Oh no! I'm gonna get rid of all these people. Hold up. Gotta clear out the chat. Okay. Phew. Okay. He's gotta understand my interpersonal relationships. Got it. Well, 1 is for me, and 2 of them are for my friends, I guess you'd say. We gonna see these friends? Well, 1 of them is a friend, and the other one, it's hard to explain. Anyway, the last one is for you! I thrust out my chest proudly. Wow. He stared back at me dubiously. Of course. Don't you want it? Ah, yes, this is spam. If you don't get some variety in your diet, you'll give yourself high blood pressure from excessive salt intake. Yeah, all that canned food. She doesn't want to explain friends with benefits to Red. That's right. A balanced diet is critical for someone with a job like yours that requires a lot of physical stamina. Otherwise, you won't have the energy to combat the bad guys. I rattled off all the excuses I could think of to keep him from getting a word in edgewise. The point is, your well-being directly benefits me. Does that make sense? This guy's very pragmatic. If you tell him how this will affect his performance, he'll listen to you. Yay! The time flew by, and before I knew it, it was time to leave the house. The front door, I put on my shoes, then turned on my heel. I'm going to school now. Yeah, obviously. We knew he was gonna come. Oh, right. I'd temporarily forgotten about the 24-hour surveillance thing. I feel like I wouldn't forget that if some dude told me he was gonna keep his eye on me all the time. He wasn't my personal butler or something. He was a police officer. This isn't gonna be one of those things where you walk into my class wearing a school uniform and the teacher introduces you as our new exchange student, is it? No! It's not an invitation. You're joking, right? No, he doesn't joke. He said this with a perfectly straight face, too. Let's think about this for a minute. Do you realize how long that paperwork will take to process? Oh, double quotation marks there. Do you realize? Yeah, that paperwork is going to take long more than 1 day. Once again, here I was having to explain something to Red. It's just not worth it over one measly blackmail letter. I understand how you feel, but think about it. You're clearly a grown man. There's nothing undercover about this. With all the unwanted attention you'll attract, the culprit is bound to notice you immediately. I was desperate to keep him far, far away from the school. Don't give him any funny ideas then.
あなたのそばにいるのは不自然かもしれません。
See? There you go.
では臨時の教師として赴任することにしましょう。
Damn it. Well. Now you're now you're cooking with gas. No, you're not supposed to agree with him. I shot him the finger guns again with the finger guns. This is the second case of finger guns. Oh my god, she's such a dork. Finger guns. We do stand Arisu. What on earth? Who is this? Is this your wolf guy? Chris Blessing. Is this what you wanted? No, didn't you want a Jabberwocky? I mean, this is something. Ooh, Neo too. Yup.
マジで
For reals.
すっげえかっこいいじゃねえっすか
Totally badass. Lunchtime found me in the school courtyard. He's a cat. You don't want a cat. You want a... Oh, he's not a big bad wolf. Anyway, I guess not. As we ate, I told my buddy all about what was going on. His name was Wolf. Spelled with 2 O's and an E, apparently. You go, he's a wolf!
で、どこにいるんすかその警察官は
He bit back a laugh as he spoke. No clue. He did tell me to give a shout if I'm ever in danger. Into swords, not cats. Okay, noted. In the end, we decided against the substitute teacher thing. Thank goodness. Mainly because it was ridiculous. Yes.
てか、アリスちゃん大丈夫なんすか
What do you mean?
そりゃいろいろと
Come on,
聞いてるだけで
dude.
もう心配っすよ襲われたりしたらどうしようとか
Relax, not gonna happen. I waved my hand dismissively.
そうかなアリスちゃん可愛いからな
Hee hee. Oh yeah? Go ahead, butter me up. I would never say that. Come on, butter me up. Oh.
世界一の美少女
Ay, ay, ay. Ain't that the truth? Oh yeah, Anis is great. We exchanged a high five.
で、その警察官はどうなんすか
What do you mean?
どう思った
Wait, what? He's weird. Oh, and ridiculously attractive. I didn't realize she thought he was ridiculously attractive. I mean, he's fine. Ridiculously attractive. Yeah, they can't decide whether or not he needs to be constantly watching her or can just kind of, yeah, because he's not here now, but before it was like, no, I gotta be like right there staring at you.
かっこいいの
More like ice cooled. What a dork. This seemed to dampen Wolf's enthusiasm quite a bit. Or so I thought. Then he grinned.
あーじゃああれ
Oh my god.
落としたくなったっすか
He's trying to smash that. What era are we in? Are you trying? Are we trying to smash that? Yes, no, why do you ask? Oh my god. I'm having fun with this translation. Oh, this is the best. This is the best set of choices I've ever seen in the game. Obviously, yes, right? Yes? That's what I'm gonna say. Yes. Yeah, right into the wall.
それ格闘技っすよね
No. And then I'll dump him in the pool. What?
それは落とし穴
And then I'll have to hide the bunny somewhere safe.
はいはい叩き落とすね
And then I'll probably get bored and go read some boy-on-boy fan fiction. Ah! We stand Arisu. I love her.
そりゃ体重を落とさなきゃねって違う 俺が言ってるのは恋愛的な意味での落とすってこと。
Wow. Alright, silly me. Man, see? Look how much better this game is when you don't have the when you don't have one of these other main dudes in. I like this guy. He's good. They have good banter, but the other two guys suck. I caught my hands over my mouth and batted my lashes. Ha 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 ha. This is what I love about Wolf. He knows how to play along. Yeah, a real stand-up dude. It's not really about hooking up with him or anything like that. I just want to get to know him better, that's all. She just said he was like smoking hot though. What, you don't believe me?
そこに一切の下心はないって言える？
You mean physical attraction?
そう。もっと直球で無粋な言い方をすると、セックスできるかできないかってこと。
Oh, that's so good. I mean, the Japanese, he basically is like, do you want to have sex with him or not? But, do you want the tea or not? I love it. Good thing I wasn't drinking my tea just then, or I'd have spit it out all over myself. This really isn't the sort of conversation we should be having in public.
ごめんごめん。まあ、女友達との放課後の恋バナ程度に考えてよ。
But we're not on the phone, and you're a guy.
あ、俺も一応男扱いしてもらえてるんすね。やったー。
Of course. What else would you be?
ペット。
Your pet. Shake boy. Oh, they're having fun. He's Koya Fudanshi. That'd be fun. I wouldn't mind if he were a romanceable option in one of the later like episodes or something. You know, the best friend route. Always classic.
いつまでもそんなことやってると、せっかくのチャンスも逃しちゃうっす
The
よ。
big chance. What do you mean?
突然、奇怪な事件に巻き込まれたか弱き美少女。そんな彼女のもとに派遣された凄腕の警察官。映画化決定待ったなってくらいの絵になるシチュエーションじゃねえっすか。
You're right, this really does sound like movie material. Although I can't help but notice you question marks on part of it.
いやいや、マジで気のせいっす。
Uh-huh, let's go with that.
とにかく、そんな美味しい状況なのに恋愛フラグが立たないわけがない。
He just said there's no way this thing is ending platonically. You think so?
そうっすよ。吊り橋効果とかよく言うじゃないっすか。
No. The suspension bridge effect? No, I don't think I've heard of that. Have you heard of that? Has anyone heard of that? Right, that's supposed to be temporary though, and mixed signals don't really count if you ask me.
なーに言ってるんすか。勘違いも恋のうちっすよ。アリスちゃんが本気なら俺、協力してやってもいいっすよ。
Oh, I love the flavor in this text. I gotta say, I've been playing Cafe Enchante in my off time, in my downtime, not streaming it, but playing it a little bit in the morning, a little bit at night. And it's just night and day. Like, this is like, you know, good, really good writing, really interesting localization. Like, he's basically like in Japanese said, you know, I'd be happy to help you out. But gives us so much more flavor to say I'm down to help a sister out. I love it. You're gonna help me? But Cafe Enchante, on the other hand, is much more of like a very standard translation with unfortunately a lot of editing misses, like things that were really glossed over and don't, you know, flow well, and errors and stuff like that. Though it does have some good parts. I think Cafe Enchante does have a little bit of color in it, but this is very tight. I love this localization. No, I believe you. It's just...
そんなかまととぶってる幼げな羊は狼にガブリと食われちゃう。
Yeah, Cafe Enchante is not bad. I wouldn't say it's bad at all. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Just the writing, I think, isn't as strong as this one. And it's really the translation. Like, a lot of the lines, you'll see little typos and things that just kind of make you go, oh. Or things where it just looks like they should have had a bit more editing in it, and it could have a little more character. This has a lot of characters to it. But some people don't like that. Some people like a bit more dry, you know? I think it also depends on the writing of the original game, too. So I can only comment on, like, when I hear the Japanese line, like, how that compares to the text I'm seeing on the screen, because I'm not looking at the Japanese version at the same time. Does that mean I'm in danger right now, sitting on here with you? Yeah, you could be the big bad wolf. Your name's Wolf. Mm-hmm. Get it? He raised his hands up in front of his face, pointing his claws at me. I mean, he is wearing giant paws. Eek! Save me, Mr. Huntsman! I leaned back in faux fright as I joked. He put his arms around me. Ooh, oh, what? There is a huntsman! Didn't realize there was a huntsman. Is that the teacher? An annoyed voice rang out, interrupting our little game. Wolf jumped to attention, straightening his posture. You see, Mr. Huntsman is one of the hunters who works here. His real name is Ryoshi, but I'm not allowed to call him that at school. Fun fact, Ryoshi means hunter in Japanese. Our parents weren't very creative. Our parents? Is that a brother then? Hello, Mr. Huntsman. I greeted him formally. Yeah, must be her brother, her jerk brother. Sick burn, Hunter the Hunter. We exchanged a playful glance. Wearing his usual resting grump face, Mr. Huntsman sat down next to me and took a small rectangular item out of his pocket. You know you're not allowed to smoke, Mr. Huntsman. I snatched the pack of cigarettes away and put a lollipop in his mouth instead. Alright. Although he was a talented hunter, he had a poor grasp of social etiquette. Why are the old good-looking guys so boring? Yeah, I don't know. Really, only the friend is the one I've enjoyed so far. Good grief. Try to be more considerate of your students. Some people are sensitive to the smoke, remember? He rolled the lollipop around on his tongue as he spoke. Oh, way to spill the beans. Shh. I hastily clamped a hand over Wolf's mouth. No, I don't think he cares. Wolf pushed my hand away, his eyes sparkling with curiosity. Hearing Mr. Huntsman's disinterested response, I heaved a sigh of relief. Wolf, he doesn't care about my love life, just like I don't care that he goes through girlfriends like underwear. Oh. You ship Wolf and Hunter, sounds good. I stared at him wearing my most threatening smile. Just then, the bell rang, signaling the end of our happy little lunch period. Whoops, time's up, gotta go. Fist pumping internally, I jumped to my feet. Meanwhile, Mr. Huntsman gave me a look that said, I'll let it slide for today. You okay? Are you coming down with something? I rubbed Wolf's back as I spoke. Oh.
りがとう。
Is he okay? Well, okay. Maybe have some soup when you get home, just to be safe. He was a sickly child growing up, and to this day he would frequently fall ill.
もう大丈夫。
Aw.
今日も美味しいお弁当ごちそうさまで
What
し
do
た。
you guys like to have when you're sick? Chicken soup is always classic, but I always like to have ginger ale. That's a nice one. See you later. And so we wave goodbye. Yeah, usually chicken broth, I think, is one that I have. Curse blessing your guys who just dramatically die. Ah, yes, you like to suffer. Suffer and die. As I walked off campus, I glanced around, checking my surroundings. No people or houses nearby, just a sea of trees. Yo, Red is really not doing his job. Thought it was 24/7 surveillance here. Hardly surprising, of course, considering the school was situated in a forest in a more rural part of town. Sure enough, there he was, standing against a tree. Alright, he's there, just chilling. Thanks for waiting. As soon as he caught sight of me, Red straightened his posture.
お帰りなさい、ミス・アリス。ご無事で何よりです。何か異常はありましたか？
Nope, just another peaceful day at school.
ならばよかったです。
What were you up to while I was in class?
見回りです。それと周辺に聞き込みを。
Minor legwork, huh? Like what? Legwork? She always has the same thing I'm
周囲
thinking.
に不審な人物はいなかったかといったことです。
How'd it go?
ありませんでした。実に穏やかで平和そのものです。
That's good to hear. So anyway, would you come shopping with me on our way home?
どうぞ。
I mean, of course, he's gonna follow her everywhere. And so I purchased a few days worth of groceries, humming to myself all the while. Fred was right. The town truly felt idyllic and peaceful. Nevertheless, he maintained constant vigilance as he scanned the area. Any requests for dinner tonight?
ありません。
Yeah, I mean, Red seems like the kind of character that would overreact, like when they're doing something innocuous and think like, oh, hey, what's going on here? This looks sus, right? So yeah, I could have seen that too. He was surprisingly hands-off. Guess he was busy patrolling or whatever. I see. Off topic, would you describe yourself as an alpha in bed? What?
Huh?
What? My friend told me all men are wolves. Okay.
狼イコール肉食というつながりですか？
I don't know. Okay, speaking of vocalization, why did they do this sometimes? Sonotori, which means that's right. Why would, maybe because in the Japanese it was like she's speaking English or something? But I shot him the finger guns. That's third finger guns. Let's do an ongoing finger gun count. We should do shots every time there's finger guns. So weird. Who does finger guns? He stared at me, exasperated. Of course, is that a bad thing?
いえ。学校にいる際には事情を知っている友人と行動を共にした方が良いでしょう。
Don't worry, it's someone I know I can trust, even though his name is Wolf. After another curt reply, Red hastened his pace and I trailed after him. Are you going to ask me for details about my friend?
はい。
Oh. I'd been expecting him to interrogate me about it, so this got me off guard. Okay then. Muttering to myself, I stared after him. Yeah, he's not being very vigilant, is he? But just as he was about to pass the flower shop, he stopped short. Whoa, what is it? I had to stop myself from crashing into him at the last second.
いえ。
Oh, he's being angsty. He tugged his riding hood down over his eyes.
誰かがつけている気配がします。
Someone's following them? What?
気のせいかもしれませんが、ここは念のため 商店街を走り抜けようと思います。
Just in case, we should just book it out of here. That's not suspicious at all. Nope, I'm fairly in shape if I do say so myself.
それはよかっ
Let's go.
た。では
Crouching down slightly, Red began to run at full speed, weaving between the passers-by. Naturally, I followed suit. Once we rounded the corner, we finally came to a stop. Weeks.
息が切れていますが、体力に自信があったのでは？
Rude. I am, it's just weaving between people in the crowd is harder than I thought it would be.
そうですか。
I had to run for the bus today, I understand. Yeah, only a ninja could pull that off.
私も忍者ではありません。
Yeah, I know. You must be some kind of special agent or something, huh? Anyway, don't worry about it. So, are we still being followed?
すみません。私の気のせいだったようです。
What? Ugh. Come on. Ha ha ha. Yeah. He's, he's kind of half-assedly doing this protection thing. I laughed humorously. They ran down one street and around a corner, and they're fine. And then, oh, it was my fault. My bad. Dang. Ta-da! Tonight's dinner is Salisbury steak.
知っています。そばで見ていましたの。
I sauntered gallantly into the dining room with our food on a platter, but Red didn't much appreciate my dynamic entrance. Red doesn't appreciate a lot of things, I feel. With a deft hand, I set all the plates on the table, then took a seat across from him.
いただきます。
Bon appetit! And so we tucked into our supper. How is it? You like it? Meanwhile, I used my knife and fork to cut my steak into bite-sized pieces. As one does.
まあ、
Huh? Already this was a step above last night's "do you need me to tell you it's delicious" comment. Ah yes, we're making big strides. The power of meat is not to be underestimated, it seems. You mean it? I'm so glad. Oh yeah, and how did you like your lunch?
良かったです。
Yay! Sorry, I was drinking water. Yay! You liked it. What was it? I jumped out of my seat and thrust my fist into the air victoriously. Ahem! Red shot me a weird look, so I cleared my throat and returned to my seat. Nothing's really happened since you got here, huh? Changing the subject. I casually changed the subject.
例の嫌がらせですか。
Red promptly took the bait. What a nice guy letting me save face. Yeah, he's a real sweetie. Yeah, it's like the guy up and
警
vanished.
戒しているのかもしれませんね。
Then it hit me. Wait, but that means the wolf knows a cop is here?
その可能性もないとは言えません。
He took an item out of his gingham basket. I didn't know he carried his stuff in a
こ
basket.
れに見覚えは？
What is it? The object he set on the table was small and black. To me, it looked like a portable radio of some kind.
今に仕掛けられていました。鑑識に回しておきますが、
Oh, this
盗
wolf
聴
has
器の
some
類でしょう。
fancy tech. He's listening in on her. When did that get here? I
あ
swallowed.
なたの留守を狙って狼が仕掛けたものだと思われます。
Whoa.
念のためこの家をくまなく調べましたが、他にこのようなものはありませんでした。
I guess it's part of the fairy tale aspect of this, but like half of the time it seems like this is, taking place in like Victorian era, and then you've got random technological stuff, and then the things they're saying seem like modern, so it's all a mishmash of eras, I guess. When did that happen?
捜査の基本です。
As he spoke, he didn't even bat a lash. No, seriously, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to get a warrant before you go searching around the whole premises. Forget it. I give up. What do? Are we in trouble if the cop finds out about you? I looked at him with concern.
いえ、逆に私がここにいることで牽制になっているとも言えます。
You're very confident about that. Oh, I see. I guess it'll be harder to mess with me now that I've got a bodyguard.
はい。しかし、このまま何もないとなると、犯人を逮捕するどころか、特定すら難しいかもしれませんね。鑑識の結果にもよりますが、おそらく何も出てこないでしょうから。
I mean, that's pretty, yeah, good for a everyday stalker to not have anything found by the forensic team. Should we bait him or something? Wow.
本気でも冗談でも、そのようなことはおっしゃらないでいただきたい。
To protect me? He nodded.
そうです。そのあなたをみすみす危険な目にさらすことなどできません。今回の任務の優先度はあなたの保護が一番であり、その次が犯人確保です。
But sometimes you have to take risks if you want to get anywhere. True.
少なくとも
Very true.
今はその時ではありません。
He shot me down without
良いですか
hesitation.
ミス・アリス。私がここに来てから
It's true, it has been only 2 days. So I should just relax and keep living my life?
はい。もしも犯人が私の存在を
Hard
知
to
った
do
上
when
で
he's here
情報に
24/7
及ぶとなれ
though.
ば、
So maybe they're gathering intel on us for now?
はい。少なくとも私ならそうします。
Yes, think like the culprit. Figure out their strategy. This, I closed my eyes and sank deep into thought.
何か
What if the culprit never makes a move? I opened my eyes and looked up at him once more. I mean, you've considered the possibility that they won't take any further action, right?
ええ。まあ、
What would you do then? Surely you can't stay here forever and ever, right? Okay. After a moment of thought, Red looked back at me.
1週間何もなかったら上層部に脅迫状は一過性のいたずらだったと伝えるつもりです。
Okay, but if the culprit is somehow listening to them, they could just wait till he leaves after a week.
その後もあなたに何かあるようならば駆けつけます。
Okay, he's got it covered, don't worry. But you won't stay with me as my bodyguard like you're doing now.
はい。
I see. Then that means we only have 5 more days together, huh?
今日を含めれば6日です。
Feels like a long time, but I bet it'll fly by.
あっという間です。
That's kind of depressing, isn't it? First she was like trying to get him out of here, and now she's like, oh, that's a bit sad. It was the honest truth of how I felt. We had only just met. It struck me as a shame, such a shame for our friendship to come to an end so quickly. Their friendship. Such good friends after 2 days. Oh, I know. I clapped my hands together. I know just the thing to bring us closer together. Since you're here, how about I show you around the house?
家の中をですか
Well, I didn't get the chance yesterday because I forgot. So let's fix that. Oh, kind of late for that, huh? Yeah, I get it. You already investigated the place anyway. But just as I slumped my shoulders...
案内していただけるのであれば
Oh, he's reacting somewhat positively to something. Oh, okay then. We'll do it after dinner. My voice shot up an octave in my joy.
はい。よろしくお願いします。
Wow. And so began the great Eureka Arisu house tour. So, first things first. I cleared my throat in an ostentatious display, then donned a serious expression. This is the living room.
知っています。
I like this
大
music.
概の時間をここで過ごすので
Okay then, onwards we go. Oh, where will we take him? The entryway, my room, the ballroom. Well, we've seen my room. I don't know, the ballroom sounds pretty cool. I want to check out the ballroom. Okay, ballroom. Here we are! This is the ballroom, my second favorite place to hang out. that they have a ballroom. Yeah! I'll show you my favorite later.
そうです。
That is her room. What, that's it? I stared into his eyes, trying to gauge his reaction.
舞踏会でも開けそうですね。
Yeah, that's why it's called the ballroom. I know, right? I think we did at one point, but I can't remember. Have you ever gone dancing, Red?
ありますよ。
That's a shame. I bet you'd be a real gentleman. I can totally picture him wearing a fancy suit, and that's about it.
ご冗談。私は
A
こういった
fancy suit with his
華や
hood.
かなバーが苦手です
Oh, really? But before I could joke that he was too cool for
ミ
parties,
ス・アリスはレディーらしくサズやダンスがお得意なのでしょう。
right, well, thank you. That was unexpected, to say the least. Oh no, to tell the truth, I can't dance a lick. I folded my hands behind my back and smiled at him flirtatiously. Say, if I threw a party here, would you ask me to dance? After all, there's no need to worry about embarrassing ourselves if neither of us are any good at it, right?
マイナスとマイナスが組んでもプラスにはなりません。どなた
Sure they do. If you subtract a negative number from a negative number, you end up adding to it. Same with multiplication. For a moment, I forgot to fart and ended up giving a serious response.
それは数学の話でしょう。
He's so mad. Yeah, in math. Look at the face. Whatever. Same goes for real life. Math is real. Don't think about it like a rule or a line on a graph. It's like a double negative in grammar. The outcome of our pairing will change depending on the surrounding context. For example, since neither of us can dance, we could always take lessons together in advance. You know, hypothetically.
ご考説ありがとうございます。
You're welcome. Alright. Next. Entryway. Room. I think room is our favorite, so let's do entryway. This is the entryway.
そうですね。
I feel like there are more rooms though. Like, is there anything else we're gonna show him? The bedrooms and the guest rooms are all on the second floor. Down here, we've got the living room and the ballroom. Uh-oh. He doesn't look that impressed. He's probably thinking, no shit, Sherlock, right about now. Okay then, onwards we go! To the room! The only other room in the house. The other house is just 3 rooms. Gosh. As you know, this is my room. As in, this is where I sleep.
まあ、
His curt response took the wind out of my sails. Don't you have anywhere else? Any of the other rooms?
このような立派な屋敷に住めることは羨ましい限りです。
Lovely mansion with 3 rooms. Oh! He responded to a social cue for once. He's learning. Yeah, me too.
ここはあなたの家なのでは
Oh, oops, I got carried away. I giggled bashfully.
次の場所を案内していただけますか
Was there more? Right! Now then, I'll take you to my favorite spot. Are you curious?
すでに予想はついています。
Shh! Stop right there, buddy. You're gonna spoil the surprise. Okay, her bedroom wasn't her favorite room then. I pouted my lips and Red gave a defeated sigh. Yeah, he really could move in. Now then, right this way. With that, I attempted to take him by the arm. I didn't have any ulterior motive for doing this, mind you. In my giddiness, my first instinct was to reach for him. But my hand closed on empty air.
私に触らないでいただきたい。
Whoa. He jumped away from me. Oh, sorry. Startled, I apologized immediately. In response, he awkwardly averted his gaze.
いえ、
Yeah, what was
こちらこ
that
そ
about?
すみません。
No, no, it wasn't my fault. We weren't even going for the hood. He doesn't want pats? I decided the best thing I could do was resolve this awkward moment. Wait, sorry. I decided the best thing I could do to resolve this awkward moment would be to carry on as if it never happened. Makes sense. Well, anyway, just follow me.
はい。
What's the favorite room? And here we are. This isn't in the house. This is my favorite spot to hang out, the garden. I held my arms out wide as if to say, ta-da! A garden is not a room. That's cheating. Red silently stepped away from me and crouched down beside the flower bed. Behind him, I leaned over slightly. Do you like flowers?
そうですね。
Ah, an emotional
見ていると
moment.
心が和みます。
That's what this music says.
ミス・アリスも花が好きなんですね。
Pretty obvious, huh?
わかります。これほど見事に手入れされた素晴らしい庭を見れば。
I guess they don't have any helpers. He glanced around as he spoke.
今は季節が冬なので小ぶりで可愛らしい冬バラが咲いているだけですが、春になったら様々な種類、
Do you like roses?
好きですよ。ただ
Wow,
バラの
he's got
花は
some
美しくて豪華ですが、
deep-seated issues I feel like he needs to work through. Oh, I see. So you're saying you prefer less pretentious flowers.
まあ私のような人間が花を好きだなんて似合いません。
Yeesh. He gave a self-deprecating laugh and pulled his hood low over his eyes. That's not true. Why, you're as sweet as a flower yourself. I don't know if I go that far.
私がですか？
Yeah.
そんなことはあり
Yeah,
ません。
sure.
私はあなたに何もしていません。
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Sure you have. You're protecting me, aren't you? Isn't that technically his job as a policeman? Yeah. Pursing his lips together, he fell silent and turned away. Yeah, he is very self-aware.
余計なことを話しすぎました。
What do you mean you said too much? It's your duty. That's, you know, that's true. With that, he straightened up and sped off toward the house.
戻りましょう。体が冷えてしまいますよ。
Hey, wait! I called after him.
何ですか？
Will you come back and visit in the spring?
は？
He turned back and fixed me with a dubious look. Like you said, this place really comes alive in the springtime. Not just roses either, all kinds of flowers, lilies and stuff. So would you like to...
いえ。私は二度とここに来ない方が良いでしょう。
He cut me off, averting his gaze once more. Why is that?
忘れたのですか？
The
私はあなた
wolf's
を
evil
狼の魔の
designs!
手から守るためにここにいるのです。
Yep.
私がいるということは特殊であり、あなたの日常ではないはずです。
Yeah, okay, well, coming back in the spring is to visit the garden is very different from being here 24/7 hovering. Well, yeah, but
あなたのお心遣いには感謝します。ですが、あなたの日常に
what a wet blanket.
私は必要あります。
The big house was only 3 rooms. Well, that's everything there is to show you. Now that I think about it, I really should have done this yesterday. Sorry about that.
いえ、改めて家主にご紹介いただき、いろいろと参考になりました。
Cool, good to know. In the end, my spontaneous suggestion proved to be useful. Nice.
ちなみに、玄関などの鍵はあなたが保管しているのですよね。
Yes, of course.
他に鍵を持っている人物は
Each of my family members has one. Oh, and I keep the master key and any spares safely in a kitchen drawer so I won't lose them.
なるほど。ならば、キッチンに向かいましょう。念のため、確認しておきたいので。
You hope Cinderella's more upbeat. Maybe he throws a shoe at your head and then use you to search for him on a wild goose chase. That would be fun. I don't know. I'm not confident. This guy really is a bit dull though, isn't he? Let's get some action, some banter. I miss Wolf's banter. Together, the two of us walked through the living room to the kitchen. There, I pulled open the cabinet drawer where I kept the key ring. What the? It's gone? I dug around in earnest, but my search yielded not a single key. They were gone.
確かにここにしまっていたのですか？
Uh-oh. Yeah.
最後に確認したのは
Would have been 2 days ago. I was doing some cleaning and came back here to grab a key.
その鍵は元に戻しましたか？
Of course. At this, his expression clouded over. You think somebody stole it?
その可能性が高いかもしれません。
It's all my fault, isn't it? Why? I should have expected this. As soon as I got that blackmail matter, I should have predicted that someone would break into the house. I should have hidden the keys somewhere safe. Oh, I don't know that you should
それほど
be blaming yourself for
冷
that.
静でいられなかったということでしょう。
Yeah, no, she never told her brother about the blackmail at all. She just said this guy's following her. She was like, oh, I'm not gonna call him, remember? But yeah, I don't think she ever actually told him. How do you respond to the theft? Ask for help, remain calm, and think of a solution. Well, I mean, this guy's here to help, so I don't see why we wouldn't ask him for help. Curse blessing, you haven't had any input on our choices so far. What do you think? I'll go with your choice this time. I'm afraid only the D can call me. is that asking for help? Yeah, that's asking for help. Yeah. I mean, what would the solution be? Get more keys. Yeah, okay, we'll ask for help. What do we do? Worried, I woke up at red.
ご安心を。私があなたを全力で守ります。
Thanks. I'm glad you're here.
ですが、念のため、このことはご家族に報告しておいた方が良いかもしれません。
Yeah, maybe tell the brother. Right. I picked up the phone. First, I decided I would call my parents. Is she gonna be cool with just calling her brother now? Unfortunately, they didn't answer. And there are no voicemail messages in this video game. I sighed and set the receiver down.
そうですか。ならば、あなたのお兄様にご連絡をお願いします。
My brother?
はい。ご兄弟の危機的状況に何も反応しないということはないでしょう。
I paused to think, then punched in Ryoshi's phone number. Oh boy. Let's see what he does. He's not answering. Meanwhile, the phone continued to ring and ring and ring, and nobody has voicemail. Oh. With a sheepish smile, I set the receiver back onto the hook. My family's just really busy.
あなたの危機だというのに、ご家族はあなたに関心がないのですか？
Probably not. Otherwise, they wouldn't have left me alone in this house to begin with.
あなたのご
Ouch.
両親は子供よりも己の都合を優先したと。
Sure, I guess you could say that. I shrugged. At this, Red furrowed his brows slightly.
寂しくはないのですか？
I'm used to being on my own. Maybe I've just forgotten what it's like to enjoy someone else's company.
その気持ちは少しわかります。
Aw, you can?
すみません。余計なことを言いました。
He pulled his hood over his eyes as if to escape from my prying gaze.
とにかくここでこうしていても何も解決しません。
Anyway, oh, sorry, I kind of went in autopilot. I was gonna read him too. And they can be roommates. She's got all this space.
鍵を盗まれたのだとしたら何を仕掛けてくるかわかりません。
I mean, the culprit could have just broken in without a key. I guess means they could come in more
家を
quietly.
離れるべきなのですが、ここはあなたの家です。権限はあなたにあります。
Let's go to your place, Red Riding Hood. I have no intention of leaving.
あなたならそう言うと思いました。ならば、私はそれに従うまでです。報告です。 室内外ともに不審人物はいませんでした。
Phew. Thanks for checking. You should get some rest.
あなたの方こそ随分お疲れのようですね、ミス・アリス。無理もありません。今日はいろいろありましたからね。私に遠慮せずお休みください。
No, no, I'm not going to bed just yet. I want to talk to you a little more. I've been talking quite a bit. I shook my head.
好きにしてください。
I will, thanks. Wait, what are you doing?
念のためこの部屋にも
A
罠を仕掛けてい
trap.
ます。
What kind of trap? You're setting a trap? Another trap? In my bedroom. But Red ignored my questions. I could see him working with some sort of thread.
鍵が盗まれましたからね。用心す
elaborate
るに越したことはありません。
Right.
ちなみに今仕掛けているのはドアノブに触れると同時に電流が流れ、侵入した際にはナイフが飛び出す仕組
Are you trying to kill them?
み。いえ、
I mean, why not?
確
Right?
実に致命傷は与えますが、動機を聞き出すくらいの余裕は残すつもりです。
Which is just enough time to ask them what their motive is and then they'll die. What if someone in my family randomly decides to come home?
その時はその時です。物事を成し遂げるには
Whoa!
犠牲はつきものですからね。
Well, if it's the brother, no big deal, right? You're joking, right?
冗談です。
Oh my god. He's learned to joke. Okay, thank god. Your sense of humor isn't just dry, it's completely morbid. Actually, come to think of it, I didn't realize you were the joking type to begin with. Yeah, and it's because he
これでよし。
has never told a joke in his life.
誰かが侵入したらすぐにわかるように音が鳴る仕掛けにしました。
Upon closer inspection, I could see tiny little bells affixed all over the place. I'm guessing the smallest vibration will set them off. This is what you call a booby trap, right? Is this part of your professional training?
ええ、まあ
What part of it? He looked at me dubiously, so I decided to rephrase my question. Do they teach you that at the police academy?
いえ、
Ooh,
これは友
friend
人に教えてもらいました。
taught him how to booby trap things. Wow, really? What's the story there? I didn't even know Red had friends.
何かあれば
Starting to think he's not even a cop. Let's see your ID, Red. Or just ignore me. That's fine too. Instead of pressing the question, I gave up and got into bed. Are you going to sleep there again? It was obvious where I was referring to. By now, the chair by the window had become his usual spot. Wait, usual spot has been... This is night 2. You can't have a usual spot if you've only done this once.
問
That's
題
not
が
how
あ
it
るなら
works.
外で寝ますが。
No, no, I love it when you sleep by the window. Please continue.
それはそれで問題のある発言ですね。
Ha 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 ha. Just to be clear though, are you sure that's what you want? Did you get enough sleep last night?
はい。
You have dark circles under your eyes though.
これは生まれつきです。
I was born with them. Yeah, he does look like he permanently has them. Oh. Back to his spot. Same CG. His work complete, Red sat down in his usual chair. That usual chair again. Say, Red,
何ですか。
why do you think the wolf keeps harassing me?
気づいてほしいからなのでは。
Whose attention could they possibly gain by doing this?
それはもちろん
Yeah,
あなたにでしょう。
right, of course. Warning, you know what you did. Now confess, or suffer terrible misfortune. I repeat, confess your sin. Next time I won't ask nicely. Sign the wolf.
まだ
Hmm.
あなたはその罪が何か。
Her sin was being too hot to handle.
そうでしょうね。こうしてあなたと共に過ごして分
Good
かりました。
Samaritan. Thanks.
あなたは善良
What a
な一般
compliment.
市民は
You never know. Maybe I did something really, real horrible and I just can't remember it. Must have done something to deserve this blackmail.
そうですね。
Ah,
そ
so
の可能性はあり
naive.
ます。
Hey, if it turns out I did do something wrong, will you hate me for it?
別に軽蔑はしません。
He won't hate her, but he won't come visit in the spring. You mean it? Yeah, he's been here 2 days, he's got a usual spot, and he knows everything about her. I wonder why the wolf wants me to confess my sin. What will they get out of it?
私には分かりません。さあ、いつまでもお話ししてないで。
What are you, my
早くお休み
mom?
ください。
You're not my mom.
明日も学校があるので
Okay. Good night, Red.
おやすみなさい。ミス・アリス。
At night, I dreamed of the distant past. I was a child again, sitting alone on the lakeshore. Why? No reason in particular. I had no strong attachment to the lake, nor any special memories of it. Unlike most children at that age, however, I didn't attend school. Thus, I was forced to avoid the public eye, lest I draw unwanted attention. Well, why weren't you going to school? On weekdays, the lake was deserted, and hardly anyone ever passed through the forest to get here, which made it the ideal place to hang out in secret. That was the only reason I spent my time here. Truth be told, I would have gone anywhere if it meant I had a place to belong. Aww. Remember, it was nice and sunny that day. Unlike most children, however, I didn't play. I just sat there and listened to the waves. You might think a lake wouldn't have waves, yet you would be mistaken. The lake tide swells and recedes just like the ocean. Supposedly, these waves are created by friction between the surface water and the wind. That said, a lake is still not the same as an ocean. Was this a dictionary entry on the lake now? A lake will not lead you to distant lands. Is this Red? Oh, I assume this was Alice. Arisu. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm meant to think that, and it really is Red. Even if it did, I would likely never go. Red makes more sense for not playing. That day, a boy called out to me. Assuming he wasn't a ghost, he must have been an awfully truant student, considering everyone else was at school. My mother was right. The world was full of monstrous wolves. Thus, I ignored him just as she had instructed me. After all, wolves were not to be trusted. Eventually, the boy gave up trying to talk to me and walked away. How relieved I felt, knowing I could safely go back to my life of solitude. But the next day, at the very same place and time, the boy turned up once more, asking me to play with him. This caught me off guard. I hadn't expected him to show up a second time. Once again, I did as my mother had taught me and gave him the cold shoulder. I'd already broken one of her rules. I couldn't very well break another. But the boy refused to give up. Day in and day out, he tried again and again to get my attention. And the next thing I knew, I realized I was looking forward to seeing him. Nervous! Hey, welcome! You had a meeting? How'd it go? First thing in the morning meeting. Oof. Because deep down, I had always wanted someone to play with. So, gosh, we've been playing for like a little over an hour now, but I wouldn't say that much has happened. It's been day 2 of our time with Red. We've gone to school. We found out that the key to the house had been taken, like an extra key, so now we're all worried that the wolf might be able to get in. Red started making some jokes a little bit, very dry jokes. He eats the food a little bit. Very dry so far, though. Oh, but she does have a very cool friend at school. We like the friend, Wolf. But that's spelled W-O-O-L-F-E. Very important. It's fun to share a meal with someone, don't you think? The next morning, in sharp contrast with my chipper mood, Red ate the omelet I prepared for him in total silence. Don't you ever go out to eat with your friends or anything?
Yeah.
He's a real, chatterbox. What about your family?
それらの質問は 職務に関係ありません。
In other words, I should probably mind my own business. Sorry.
いえ、
Once I finished my food, it was time to go to school. Will you accompany me again?
え
24/7. That's what that means. Yes, he will. Well, this is where we part ways. Here's your lunch for the
え、あ
day.
りがとうございます。
At the school gates, I held out a boxed lunch for Red. As I spoke, I looked into his bright red eyes.
不安ですか？
Ooh. Huh? Oh yeah, pretty frightened.
あまりそうは見えません。
Maybe you're not looking hard enough.
私も中までついていきたいのは山々ですが、昨日あなたに反対を受けたばかりですし、まあ犯人もまさか学校内であなたを襲うことはないでしょう。もしも何かあった場合はすぐに周囲の人に助けを求めてくだ
What?
さい。
Why? He should be still, you know, like ready to help at a moment's notice. That's it?
はい。
I put both hands over my face, then whipped them away with a flourish. Yeah, what is she doing? Making a silly face. I didn't have a mirror handy, but I was sure I must have looked absolutely ridiculous. I'll leave it to your imagination.
それはわかります。
Uh-huh. That's it. At this rate, Red's frigid composure would soon make my own heart freeze over too. I mean, that was a pretty poor effort. Oh, here's a funny face. Here's your lunch, Wolf. Ah, here he is. Our favorite character. With some energy. Salisbury steak.
よっしゃ肉肉肉
Yeah, I love him. Love that energy. At lunchtime, I gave Wolf his boxed lunch, same as always. Though he might look like a beta male, he has the carnivorous appetite of an alpha. Foreshadowing, foreshadowing? Yeah, maybe. Well, he's too sweet to be the bad wolf. As he gleefully opened the lid, I gazed at him just as I had gazed at Red.
なんすか
Wolf is an oasis. Yeah, he really is. An oasis in a desert of dry conversations. So true. Am I unattractive?
え
I want your honest opinions. No jokes, no sugarcoating.
突然なんすかあ、もしかしてようやく俺の魅力に気づいたとか
Uh-huh. Ouch. No, this is about Red.
ですよね
He paused to think for a moment.
ということはつまりあれ俺に協力してほしいってこと
Essentially, yeah.
うわ
He stared up at the sky.
そっかま、元は俺から言い出したことだしな
Don't make him be your wingman. Just hang out with Wolf, only. In contrast with the day before, today he seemed reluctant to help me. Looks like I'll have to use my secret weapon. Crocodile tears. In execution, it's more like puppy dog eyes, but still. Pretty please.
だ卑怯だ卑怯っすだもうはいはいいいっすよ協力します
Thank you. Evidently, Wolf was a sucker for the waterworks. Okay, Wolf, tell me, how do I make someone laugh?
は
All this time, I've never once seen him laugh.
じゃあ変顔してみるとか
Oh my god. Is that the first thing we think of? Already tried that.
やったんかい
I wanted him to laugh, even if it meant I looked like a freak in the process.
惨敗だったわけっすね
Oh, she just looked like a freak. Yeah, it just bothers me that he's always scowling.
まあしょうがないんじゃねえっすかあっちはだいぶ気が張ってるだろうしそれどころじゃねえっていうか
Yeah, Red serious business. So it's just a cop thing?
そういうもんっすよ
Right, I guess so. Or maybe I'm just bad at making friends. I slumped my shoulders.
そうっすかアリスちゃん友達多いじゃないっすか
Like you?
そう例えば俺
I feel like the two of us hit it off almost instantly.
まあノリも似てたしそれに共通の話題もあったし
Oh god, somebody save me. I put my face in my hands. I'm just messing with you. I pull my hands away and suck my tongue out of him. See, they've got good energy. I like this. I want more conversations like this, please. You think I should start conversations with him? Yeah, that's the way to do it. Wouldn't that be annoying? So what you're saying is I should get pushy with him. Right back at you. We laughed and exchanged a high five. After I finished my lunch, I was walking down the hall when I encountered Mr. Huntsman. Oh, nervous. Mr. Huntsman is our brother. Arisu's brother, I should say. Here at school, he wasn't allowed to smoke cigarettes. Instead, I found him sucking on a lollipop. There he is, Mr. Brother. As he passed me, he silently handed me his empty lunchbox. What'd you think? Ah, fun. Which means you thought it was good, huh? Well, you're most welcome. Okay, last night she tried to call her parents, and she tried to call him. They don't have voicemail, so she couldn't leave a message, but she wanted to tell him that she's in danger because Wolf stole her key. You know, it would be a perfect thing to do right now while you're talking to him face to face, or maybe when you handed over his lunch in the morning. Tell him about the key situation. I took the third empty box and put it in my bag. No, tell him about the key! Tell him. He doesn't even know that she has a stalker. She never told him. Yeah, we've met Red Riding Hood, Huntsman, Wolf. So we must be Grandma. That makes sense to me. There aren't any other characters, right? That's it. Of course, you seem pretty grumpy though. Oh, silly me, you're always like that. I crossed my hands behind my back and grinned playfully at him. Oh, I see. Sounds like you're working hard. I bow my head in deference to him. But he saw through my sarcasm and bonked me on the head with a sigh. Careful of what? Yeah, okay, well, he knows. Oh yeah, that. Don't get cocky about being stalked. Okay, I won't. He looked at me with contempt. Oh yeah. I clasped my hands together. I wanted to ask you, how do you get someone to let their guard down around you? I decided it was get his advice while I was at it, so she's more concerned with getting advice than like telling him about her home situation and how she could potentially be in danger because the wolf probably has her house key. Well, he has no weak points, so I'm trying to figure out how I can get close to him. A brilliant deduction, my dear Watson. I talked to Wolf about it too, and he told me I should just get aggressive. Mr. Huntsman took the lollipop out of his mouth. Body touch. I get it. So basically I should take him out on a date. But where? As I tilted my head in contemplation, Mr. Husband fixed his smoldering gaze on the distant horizon. This was something he often did whenever he was lost in thought. Then he turned back to me and said in his usual flat tone, seems a bit sus. So there we were at the lake. Not wasting any time. Sure enough, it was a quiet, romantic place, the perfect spot for a one-on-one conversation. Granted, we could always talk at home, but knowing me, I'd probably get distracted. Looks like Mr. Huntsman really knows his stuff. That's a playboy for you, I guess.
Miss Alice.
Yes?
なぜ湖に行きたいなどとおっしゃったのですか?
Well, What reason do we give for visiting the lake? Get to know him better? No reason in particular. Okay, well, we're thinking of that. I'm gonna get more water. All this reading is making me parched. Be right back. Okay. I feel like he doesn't care that I want to get to know him better. So I'm gonna be coy. No reason. You love that he's asking her now instead of like before. Yeah, normally you'd be like, yeah, so why you wanna go to the lake before? Yeah. Oh, we don't want him to put his guard up. So, we just felt like going to the lake. I wanted to go. It has nothing to do with you, Red. Oh, no reason in particular. Oh, you're pouting. That's a first. Whoa, you're the one that's gotta take care of me 24/7. You gotta live on my schedule. His point was completely valid, and I had no comeback. That is not true. She wants to go to the lake, go to the lake. I'm sorry. The truth is, I just wanted to get you know you better. Did we pick the wrong answer? Was this the bad choice? I hung my head in shame. After a pause, his voice was almost inaudible. That was what my friends recommended. Show me my brother. Do quiet places make you uncomfortable? You just hate the lake then? Doing good on the conversation front. Real solid convo. Ouch! Ouch! Not even a little? You're no fun. What else is new? Says the guy that insists on sitting in her bedroom when she's falling asleep. I don't know. You see it a lot in soap operas. Fiction. Is it me? Do I make you uncomfortable? Ouch. Kinda sounds like you changed tack at the last minute though. Yeah, that makes sense. It's important to establish a relationship built on honesty. Yeah, which means you should show us what's under that hood, Red. We have our doubts. Oh my god. Just read what he said. Talking to you exhausts my will to live. Like, of all the things you could say to someone. I don't want to date this guy. Why? He can just go. This is the worst. Really? But it's so much fun. Yeah. Yeah, we always have the most scintillating conversations. It's great. Didn't scintillating come up with Alice in the beginning? I feel like. Who? Oh, the Lord. Yeah. Yeah, you were right, Curse Blessing. So the flashback scene we had when the person was a kid must be Red. So Red was a kid that was hanging out by the lake all the time, and this other little boy wanted to hang out with him. Remember when you told me about your canned food? We had such a great conversation when I forced you to eat my cooking. I resemble this other person who said that you were fun to talk to.
無神経で無遠慮でいつでも自分に都合のいいようにものを考えるところがそっくりです。
Sounds like he was a friendly, optimistic, assertive sort of guy. Exactly the type of person you should be hanging out with, Eureka, not this
人の揚げ
dude.
足取りがうまいところにはほとほと感心します。
Thanks!
褒めたわけではありません。本当にあなたという人は
So, could you tell me more about your friend?
嫌です。第一、
Relevant to the mission, I know.
分かっているのなら自重してください。
Hee hee.
何ですか気持ち悪い。
Oh, nothing. Felt like Red was steadily becoming less formal and more curt with me. Perhaps this was the real him. So you're still going to protect me even though I make you feel uncomfortable?
私に課せられた使命ですから。
I see. You're really loyal to your job,
こ
huh?
れ以上用がないのなら家に帰りましょう。
Wait!
何ですか
He scowled at me, so I beamed back. Why don't you come a little closer?
Huh?
Think about it. We're always standing so far apart.
またくだらないこと。必要はありません。
Evidently evidently my ulterior motive was on full display because he blatantly stepped away from me. We were 4 feet apart, too far away for any sort of physical contact. Could you at least come one step closer? Just one? Wow, they're, good for COVID distancing. I must have sounded like a total creep. You know what I mean, right? Come on, baby, just a tip. That kind of thing. Can I come closer then? At this suggestion, Red preemptively took another step
嫌
back.
と言ったら嫌です。
Fun times. Not sure how you expect to protect me from all the way over there. But although I felt this was a valid
この距離
point,
でも私ならあなたを問題なく守れます。
he refused to accept it. Oh, I know. How about we compare our hand sizes?
しません。
Comparing hands is a great way to mess around and flirt, but only if both parties are willing. Did you ever compare hands when you were trying to flirt with somebody? I racked my brain for other ways to initiate physical contact. Fine, let's go home.
最初からそうしてください。
Can you at least help me out? I reached out my hands, tilting my head as cutely as possible. His expression was so icy it nearly gave me freezer burn.
では、これに捕まってください。
Oh my god, is he holding up a stick? He picked up a fallen tree branch and held it out to me. Wow, jerk.
では、ご自分でお立ちください。
This went well. Okay, thank you. Slumping my shoulders, I grabbed the branch. Truth be told, I could have gotten to my feet just fine without his help, but since he offered, I didn't want to turn him down. Up we go! But just as I hoisted myself onto my feet, I belatedly realized that all the sit-in had made them go numb. That, and either I'd slipped the branch or it slipped out of my hand. Either way, gravity pulled me back down, by which I mean I stumbled and fell. Gasp. Oh, he called me by name. For some reason, everything seemed to happen in slow motion. Still, I couldn't fight it. Instead, I gave in to gravity's pull. What is this, like she's stumbling back down on the ground? It's not like some big fall. I'm gonna fall right into the lake, aren't I?
危なかった。
Oh, he caught me. Thank you. I felt a hard impact and my consciousness returned. I had nearly plunged myself into the lake, but thankfully Red had caught me at the last second. Talk about a hyper-competent police officer! I guess we were right on the lake's edge then. My wrists ached, but we were both too busy heaving a sigh of relief until we regained our composure, that is. Then we realized his hand was on my wrist! Oh, my eyes sparkled as I looked up at him happily. Oh my gosh. What's wrong? All of a sudden, Red began to breathe heavily. Then I realized his face was now as red as his riding hood. Whoa. Dude. Ah! Oh my god. Chill out. Huh? Next thing I know, he shoved me away, and this time I did fall into the lake. Good job. Ow, ow, ow. It's his rut? I was gonna say it's his nut? That's bad. He's just really horny. Any human contact makes him go crazy. Rubbing my sore tushy, I staggered to my feet and made eye contact with Red. My sore tushy. Oh yeah, he's horny. What? I looked down at myself and realized I was soaked from head to toe. What is she gonna do? She doesn't have any other clothes. Admittedly, I wasn't sure what exactly there was to scream about. Sure, I was dripping wet, but this wasn't exactly a fan service scene from an anime or anything. So what's so suggestive about it? That made my clothes hug my curves on a little tighter? Meanwhile, Red peeked at me through the gaps in his fingers. I like how his little, what do you call it? His, character art? What do you call it? The little picture. Gosh, I'm half asleep. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, I liked how it was like going back and forth. That was cute. With what? I don't have anything. Ugh. Yeah, let's cancel him. All of a sudden, my vision turned scarlet. Is this your riding hood? And then it hit me. Maybe this is my chance. Maybe now I can see him without his hood on. Red! I whipped off the hood at the speed of light. Oh, rats. Turned out he had another riding hood on under the first. How many does he have? You jerk, you made me get my hopes up for nothing. His face was still beet red as he screamed at me. Are you okay? You look really flushed. Then it hit me. He's coming down with something. He's uncomfortable with women. I think we all know what the answer is here. Definitely uncomfortable with women. Though it would be pretty funny to play dumb. But no. Maybe you're not a Frigidary after all. Maybe you're just a shy boy who doesn't know how to interact with girls? Whoa. Yeah, alright, Red. You're cancelled. Now come on, you know how in anime there's a tsundere and a kudere and stuff? It's like that. Besides, for all you know, Frigidere could have been invented by a man. Whoa, are you okay? Oh, out of nowhere he clutched at his nose as blood gushed forth. Yep, he's horny. Okay. I heaved myself to my feet and wrapped Red's riding hood around myself. Achoo! Granted, I'd only fallen into the shallows, but I was still soaked from top to bottom, and I was freezing. Shivering in the winter winds, I attempted to assess the situation. Upon touching my wrists in order to help me to my feet, Red flipped out and lost his usual composure. Maybe the reason he always kept his distance from me wasn't that he didn't like me specifically. Maybe he just wasn't comfortable around women in general. Oh no, that's so cute! Okay, Red, I'll keep my distance. I don't know about you all, but I would not be like, oh, how cute and endearing. Omegaverse, yeah. Yeah, there could be like awaken something in him. Okay, I swear. For now, let's just go home. Well, that was eventful. Achoo! And so I sneezed for the umpteenth time that day. Ugh. As soon as we got home, I lit a fire, took a shower, and changed into dry clothes. Sadly, my body had yet to stop shivering. That must be real. Oh, it is winter. They didn't mention that it's winter, so I guess the water would be that cold. Yep. Yep, I agree with you both. He did call her a slut, didn't he? After falling in the water, and she fell in the water because he let go of her. But it's her fault. Stay away from me. Yeah, but it's cute. My head was all fuzzy too.
Miss Alice.
Yes. I turned to find Red standing just outside the living room. Do you think he has both hoods on now? How many hoods are there? Oh, right. Thank you for letting me borrow your riding hood. I'll be sure to wash it before I give it back. Okay, she hasn't given it back yet.
はい。わかりました。そうではなく。
I do like, I'm not giving Red that many points, but I like a little bit of, you know, a character that has two sides to them where you can really see like them reacting in strong ways. So like now you got his really calm, he's back to being calm and boring. But earlier he had really good reactions even though he didn't like what he was saying. But in terms of like the voice actor and the energy you were getting, we want that energy. So it's kind of fun to see a character have that two different sides to them, I guess. But yeah, still won't like Red. So he's still canceled. Having regained his sanity, Red now averted his gaze awkwardly. What is it?
先ほどの取り乱した振る舞いを。
You basically said that I'm a slut and you hate women. Red? We at least have this conversation in the same room? Evidently he was too on guard to come any closer. Got nothing to be embarrassed about. Come on. I patted the spot next to me on the sofa. Please? I tilted my head, trying to be cute.
ダメです。
Ah. Apparently he's immune to feminine wiles. Achoo!
大丈夫ですか?
Thanks. Achoo! Ugh. Really like to stop sneezing soon.
もしかして風邪をひかれたのでは?
Me? No way. But then again, I've had the chills for a while now.
それは風邪の初期症状です。いいから今日はもうお休みください。
Yes, I'm cold all over, right down to my heart. But I bet I'd warm up if you'd give me a big hug.
断る!
There it is. Jeez, I was joking. You don't have to shoot me down so hard. Feels like I have no mental filter and now I'm just babbling nonsense. That and my face is flushed and my breathing is labored. Almost like his overreaction at the lake rubbed off on me.
Miss Alice.
Red. I'm sick. Feeling suffocated, I looked at him for help. But the words wouldn't come. All I could do was struggle to breathe.
そんな熱っぽい目で私を見るな!
Ah, yes.
勘違いするだろ!
It's all her fault. Don't tease me, all that. For some reason, this sent right into a fluster. That's weird. Why is he all fuzzy? That was the moment my consciousness faded. Dun dun dun.
なあなあ、どこに行くんだよ?
Oh, this looks like Wolf. Right from the first day we met, if you can call it that, he started coming to talk to me every day without fail. I like this illustration. It's cute. Didn't matter how hard I ignored him.
なあなあ、なあってば!
Just when I thought he'd thrown in the towel for good.
この間、うちのばあちゃんがさ...
For some reason, he launched into a story of his own volition. I was so baffled. The cold shoulder had worked just fine on everyone else, so what made this one so different?
あ、いたいた! みーけ!
As soon as he caught sight of me, he'd fall around and talk at me endlessly. Then, once he was satisfied, he would leave of his own accord. He talked to me about his beloved grandmother, about martial arts, about the books he read. He even caught me up on the latest neighborhood gossip. As I listened to him talk, I had to fight the urge to reply. Why not just talk to him then? Why do you have to fight it? Unlike me, he seemed to have a fun and exciting life, but he didn't seem like one of the wicked wolves my mother described. If I wanted to stay a precious angel, then I couldn't disobey her.
俺さお前のことを仲間だと思ってるんだよな
I stopped and turned back. No one had ever said that to me before. In response, he shot me a goofy grin.
だってそうだろ冷静で頭が良くて誰かの力に頼らないで自分の力だけで行動するんだ決して仲間外れにされたからじゃない俺たちはそうしたいからそうしてるだけなんだ
Frankly, I didn't understand what he meant. Rational, smart, self-reliant? Was that how the rest of the world saw me? Not only that, but he thought we were comrades? Comrade, a companion who shares one's activities or beliefs. Thank you. Peas in a pod, or in other words. But what did that mean? We didn't look alike, nor did we think about alike, nor did we enjoy the same things. But if he thought me a comrade, then clearly we had to have something in common. I didn't know what that something was, but if we were so alike, then surely it was safe to make an exception for him. Yeah, that's right, they never did explain bridge effects. I've never heard of suspension bridge effects. What on earth? I woke to find myself in bed.
お目覚めですか、ミス・アリス。
Ah, we're awake. Yet another morning, and maybe a good place to stop for today. It's getting a bit late here, and I'm getting a little sleepy, so I think I might pause it. Oh shoot! How do we? Oh, how do I go into the menu again?
まで倒れたんですよ。
How do we menu? There we go. So I'm gonna just save a new file, because don't we all like a new file just in case we want to replay some things and see, you know, what the different options will lead us. Thank you both for stopping by. It was a quiet stream today, but maybe a bit of a weird time for me. I think next week I will try to stream on the weekend and do more of like a early morning time for me, so maybe I can catch US folks in the evening their time and also get some Aussie folks in the stream. Yeah, it was a very baffling game. Still don't really know what to make of it. I don't like any of the guys but Wolf. He seems cool. Yeah, I don't know. We'll keep at it, see how far we get with Red. Well, I'll at least plan to finish the route, and then maybe I'll go back and play the Cinderella route later on. We'll see how well we can stand this. Okay, thanks so much for watching, you two, and I'm going to find someone to raid, and I shall see you again next week.